Yorkshire fought back very strongly on the second day of their LV County Championship match with Northamptonshire at Wantage Road, where Adam Lyth and Alex Lees both hit unbeaten hundreds in an unbroken opening stand of 237. 17 wickets had fallen on a bowler-friendly first day, but the second one was a completely different story, even though the home side, who'd resumed their first innings on 191 for 7 with a lead of 55, lost Ian Butler early when he drove Stephen Patterson to Liam Plunkett in the covers. Butler was out just after his side had earned their first batting bonus point for reaching 200, and they now look to 19-year-old Ben Duckett to get his side as far ahead as possible. Yorkshire had been dismissed cheaply on the first day for 136, and Northamptonshire had replied with a score of 232 for 8 when Duckett reached what was just the third first-class 50 of his career. He'd needed only 64 balls for this one, from which he'd struck 9 fours. Duckett and Maurice Chambers were certainly making batting look much easier than it had appeared to be on the previous day. With few problems, they added 42 runs for the 9th wicket. So Andrew Gale was forced to call on Adil Rashid, and he struck with his very first ball, Duckett not bothering with a sighter before he attempted to play a reverse paddle, only to be bowled. He was out for 51 and was followed by Chambers, who drilled Rashid to Lees at mid-on just after the 250 had been made. Northamptonshire were all out for 251. That gave them a first innings lead of 115, a position they've not been used to so far this summer, and it was one which they were not able to keep up as this day progressed. In spite of his prolonged duck in the first innings, Lyth has been the model of consistency for Yorkshire at the top of their order this season, and he was soon playing some delicious shots which were soon started to restore parity in this important contest, one which had started a day earlier than all of the rest in this round of games. Lyth was able to make it to the 50 mark for the 6th time in 10 championship innings this season, getting there with a single off Azarullah, which brought up the left-hander's half-century off his 68th delivery. He struck 8 boundaries and had given his side the ideal start for their fight back in this game. Lyth was very well backed up by Lees, a man who impressed so much in his debut season last year that he was called up for the England Lions in the winter. He has been less successful so far this season, but the man from Halifax was looking good here as he and his partner knocked off the arrears, taking their partnership beyond 115. Lees' second half-century of the summer was a more obdurate one. He reached it with this shot for a couple, which saw him raise his bat after facing 121 deliveries, from which he'd found the boundary rope on 8 occasions. Northamptonshire's confidence from their first day performance was beginning to evaporate. Lyth became the first Yorkshire batsman to amass 500 championship runs this summer, and he was only the 4th player in the top flight to get there after Chris Rogers, Ian Bell and Samit Patel. He never really looked like getting out throughout the final session, as Northants watched another promising position in a match disappear rather too quickly. They would have been desperate for a couple of early breakthroughs, but they were going over after over after over without even smelling one. This partnership moved into the 150s and beyond, with Lyth closing in on his second 100 of the championship summer. It must have hurt the home side a lot when Lees was dropped at mid-wicket by Rob Newton when on 78. Other than that, he too continued to excel with shots like this. Lyth's ton was reached off his 194th delivery with a well-placed drive through the covers of Andrew Hall. It was the opener's 15th 4 in what was another splendid innings from one of the few Yorkshire players not to be noticed by England of late. His run suggests that he shouldn't give up on that though. Moments later, the 200 partnership was brought up in the 66th over of the innings. It was just the 3rd double 100 opening stand for Yorkshire in all of their matches against this opposition. And the way these two continue to play, other records may well yet be broken. Lees has made a tremendous start to his career, and this shot ensured that he was at 100 for the 5th time in his first-class career. Only twice he's failed to reach 3 figures after making a 50, and 5 tons from 35 first-class innings is an exceptional record. This one had used up 222 balls, from which he'd hit 13 boundaries. So what a day it was for the visitors, with these two batting out 77 overs in making a score of 237 without loss. That puts Yorkshire 122 runs ahead now and in a very good position at the halfway stage of this match. Both Lyth and Lees will hope to add plenty more when they set off again on the third morning on 116 and 106 respectively.